presentation. So welcome to Kickstart for Weight Loss, 3 massive mistakes professional women make that keep them overweight, exhausted, and stuck on the diet treadmill. My name is Monique Bartlett, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy evening to spend the next 60 minutes with me. So the big question is, why should you listen to me? In actual fact, I was an overweight teenager. And a lot of people don't believe it when I tell them that, but this is my before and after. So, as I said, I was an overweight teenager who was an overweight young adult. University, I gained the freshman 15, which is that 15 pounds that you didn't have when you first went to university. I came home from university. I moved to the lovely city of Toronto, and I was living in a condo, and they had an exercise room in the basement. And there was this new thing called Pilates that I'd never heard of, but I wanted to try out. And on the very first day of class, the instructor was standing at the front of the room, and she asked me in front of everyone if I was pregnant, and I wasn't. So that was really a defining moment for me because I never wanted to feel that bad, even though I know she didn't mean it in a bad way, but I never wanted to feel that way again. So I ended up losing 30 pounds. I went from a size 14 to a size 4. And because I had people coming up to me and asking me how I got into such great shape, I actually became a personal trainer. So really the question is, what's in it for me? So part of the story that I didn't tell you is after I became a personal trainer, I started my own in-home personal training business for professional women, and it was going really well. And then I was involved in a car accident in which I could not exercise myself for a good 8 months. And I knew that I still wanted to help people in their weight loss journey. So I took a course and, excuse me for one second. And I actually became a trainer of hypnosis. I studied NLP, and I also studied whole food nutrition. So by the end of this presentation, you will learn why portion size does matter, how to lose stubborn belly fat, and the solution to reach your ideal weight. So massive mistake number 3 is not realizing that portion size does matter. I always suggest that you keep a food journal because most of us we're really not conscious when we're eating. So really, if we write it down, you actually get to see what you put in your mouth, which for me, I started doing that and it was a real eye-opener. And I happen to use a tool called MyFitnessPal, and it's a really great online tool. And I think that if you use it, it's really good because it has all different foods with all different proportions of the food, so the calories, how many carbs, protein, fats, all of these great things about the food, so you don't need to know anything about them. So you just put in what you eat, you put in what type of exercise that you're doing in a day. It gives you a little quiz at the beginning to tell you approximately how many calories you should be eating in a day, and I think it's a really great tool. I like to discuss is about portion sizes because a lot of people really overestimate what a portion size is. So to keep it all in perspective, your thumb is equivalent to 2 tablespoons, 30 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce, 28 grams, or 1 serving of peanut butter. The palm of your hand is equal to 3 ounces of meat, fish, or poultry, and 3 tablespoons of nuts. And your fist is equal to 1 cup or 2 servings of cupped vegetables and pasta. So what I like to recommend, because a lot of people are not aware of actual portion sizes, instead of eating your meals on a regular dinner plate, try using a side saucer for a week, and that will give you a really good idea of really what your portion sizes should be. If you think about it, when you buy those little single serving TV dinners, they're not much bigger than a side saucer anyway. And most people, when they eat those, are actually full at the end. The thing is, when we eat from a large dinner plate, our brain wants to make sure that we eat everything on the plate because our eyes are saying if we don't eat that entire plate, then we'll be starving. But if you use a smaller plate and you fill it, your brain is going to say, oh, the plate was full, now it's empty, and now I feel full. So you will actually eat less. Now, the average woman loses 1.5 pounds per year during her adult life as her metabolism slows down. She loses muscle mass, there's bone loss, there's fluctuations in hormones, and usually there's an increase in stress. So it's really important to eat regular times by choosing a variety of foods from all food groups, limiting your sugars and sweets, reducing the amount of fat that you eat, and include foods that are high in fiber. Definitely limit your salt, caffeine, and alcohol intake. Now, it's a really good idea to eat 5 to 6 times a day. This will stabilize your blood sugar, it will help to control your appetite, and it will also help to increase your metabolism and keep your energy up. So eating every 3 to 4 hours with 3 average-sized meals and 2 smaller meals is the way to go. Something else that I need to stress is it's also really important to eat protein at every meal. Protein is what helps you to build up your lean muscle mass, and that will actually help to also keep you feeling fuller longer. And a lot of people tend to shy away from carbs, but it's really important to have your carbs as well because you need carbs for energy. So it's not the fact that it's a carb, it's the fact that you need the carbs for energy, so just make sure that you take into account the portion size. I want to make sure that you understand from this portion is that you really do need to make sure that you take into account your portion sizes because portion size is definitely key. Okay, great. Okay, now can you see my presentation? Yes, okay, perfect. Massive mistake number 2 is thinking that spot training will help you to lose stubborn belly fat, when really it's kind of the thing where you've tried spot training and didn't get results and you couldn't quite figure out why that was. But it all comes down to increasing your metabolism and burning fat by increasing your strength training as well as your cardio. Most women think that strength training will cause big and bulky muscles, but this is the farthest thing from the truth. Male testosterone, which is actually the growth hormone, that's what causes muscle development, and it is actually 10 to 30 times higher in men than it is in women. So women, there is no way to gain as much muscle or bulk as men unless you're taking male hormones, steroids, things like that. Women usually carry double the amount of fat due to estrogen, and it also causes women to have a tougher time to actually lose belly fat. Now, to maximize fat loss, there needs to be an increase in lean muscle mass as well as calorie burn. And this is going to promote fat loss, and it's also important in long-term weight management. What you have to remember is that 5 pounds of muscle and 5 pounds of fat actually weigh the same. However, lean muscle mass takes up less space. So the thing that I want to stress here is that if you're not sure that strength training is for you, just start with regular body weight exercises. Walking is fantastic. Pilates, yoga is awesome. You build strength and you also use more flexibility. And you can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, all of these things that you can do. The main goal is to just build up your lean muscle mass and to burn more fat so that you're able to burn more calories while at rest. Now, I would have to say that it's really, really important for you to see your family physician before you begin any exercise program. They're the people who know your physical health the best, and they can lead you in the right direction before you begin anything. It's also important to regularly take measurements and before and after pictures so that you can see monthly changes that are happening to your body. Because the thing is this, we look into the mirror and we see ourselves as one way. And even though you're losing inches or you're losing pounds on the scale, sometimes you don't necessarily see that right away. But if you're taking the pictures and taking the measurements, that's a great reinforcement to let you know that you are definitely on the right track. And the really good thing is it'll help you feel really good about yourself, and you'll start to like what you see in the mirror, even naked. So before I go any further, it's really necessary for me to reference hormones and their effect on weight loss. So the big six are insulin, leptin, ghrelin, cortisol, estrogen, and testosterone. Now today I only have time to briefly talk about insulin, cortisol, and estrogen, but these are really important for you to know. So insulin is a hormone secreted by the pancreas in response to ingested carbohydrates. Insulin also tells the brain whether or not you should eat and informs the brain about the energy status of your body. When you eat, your blood sugar levels rise, and your pancreas then releases the insulin, which in turn tells your brain that you've eaten and to shut off the hunger. And usually, the more body fat that you have, the more insulin is secreted in response to eating. Now, insulin resistance can occur if the body doesn't produce enough insulin to maintain a normal blood glucose level, and this causes type 2 diabetes. But it is possible for you to regulate your blood sugar levels with food, but I really need to stress that it's also important for you to exercise as well. Now, cortisol helps to regulate blood pressure as well as the body's use of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cortisol in itself isn't harmful, but yet it is increased in times of what we call the flight and fight response and is thus considered to be the stress hormone. So cortisol actually gets increased while you're exercising, and the problem is that your body doesn't really know the difference between a good stress of exercise and a bad stress of the flight or fight. So elevated cortisol levels can lower immune function and increase weight gain, amongst many other things. Cortisol imbalance increases our desire to have carbs and increases our abdominal fat. Now, to regulate cortisol, you can start by removing stimulating foods and drinks such as alcohol and caffeine. Now, I know you're sitting there saying, oh no, I can't get rid of my coffee, or I love my glass of wine with dinner. I'm not telling you to avoid them completely, but just be aware that these stimulating foods affect your cortisol, which, as I said, has a not so good impact as it increases your abdominal fat. It's also really important for you to go to bed before 11 p.m. because between 11 and 1 is where our body rejuvenates itself, your liver starts detoxing. All of these amazing things happen while we're sleeping, and if you're not sleeping, your body doesn't get the chance to do all of these things, which can also help you to keep the weight on, which is what we do not want. Estrogen is a steroid hormone that is produced in the ovaries, the fat cells, and adrenal glands. Estrogen dominance can occur in women for 10 to 15 years, starting as early as age 35. Now, estrogen dominance has been linked to cancer, infertility, ovarian cysts, and also the acceleration of aging. So it's really important to get yourself a high fiber diet and increase your cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, and as well as adding omega-3 fatty acids to your diet, which can also help to balance the estrogen. Part of the presentation is really just about letting you know that yes, we all want to spot reduce, but unfortunately, that's not really possible. You have to do overall exercise and have an overall balanced diet in order for you to see the results. And sometimes, unfortunately, the fat comes off in places where sometimes you may not like it to come off, but that's just the way that it goes. Because trust me, it happened to me as well. So I've been there, I've done that, I totally get it. Number one is thinking that diet and exercise are the only ways to get weight loss results. And that is definitely not true. Now, do you always feel as if you're constantly trying to lose weight and the results never seem to be permanent? The thing is this, food doesn't cause you to be overweight, but your thoughts do. Being overweight is actually not the problem. It's the solution to things such as family abuse, stress, a dead-end job, trauma, bad relationships, sadness, dehydration, and sleep deprivation. Your body actually protects you with fat. So you need to create a mind-body connection. And you're saying, what exactly is a mind-body connection? Well, this is the thing. It probably took you a lifetime to accumulate all of your fattening habits. Our routine produces the results that we get. So you need to train your brain to get you out of those old habits of bad behaviors that aren't serving you so that you can set new ones. And in order to get to the root of the problem, you need to understand the difference between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. So this here is what is called the mind model. And your mind and your subconscious or your unconscious mind is 90% of your mind. So your conscious mind analyzes, thinks, and plans, and it's your short-term memory. Whereas the unconscious mind holds things like your long-term memory, emotions and feelings, your habit patterns, relationship patterns, addictions, involuntary bodily functions, creativity, developmental stages, spiritual connection, and intuition. You need to think of food as a means to satisfy hunger and not as a means to relieve your stress or negative emotions. You need to be able to get to the root of the problem that is keeping you overweight. You need to begin to use new resources that will create new habits and behaviors. So I'm not going to go into this exercise because we seem to have a quiet group here today. But again, it's really important for you to know that there are reasons why you're holding on to this weight. You may not understand what those reasons are consciously, but unconsciously, there's definitely a reason there. And it's really necessary for you to dig deep and understand what those reasons are, because if you keep holding on to them, you will continue to keep holding on to the weight as well. Now, this is the most fun part, hypnosis. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. It is a state of 10,000 times increased focus. You are in control and you only accept suggestions that are given that are consistent with your internal values and beliefs. So if I was to tell you to jump off the CN Tower and that is something that you would never do in your regular life, there is no way that you would ever do that under hypnosis. Now, the big question is, how effective is hypnosis? Well, based on a comparative study by American Health Magazine, with psychiatry, there's only a 30% recovery rate after 600 sessions. With behavior therapy, there is a 72% recovery rate after 22 sessions. And with hypnotherapy, there is actually a 93% recovery rate after 6 sessions. So that's a really, really huge difference, and it's very important to know. So I just want to do a quick test with you right now. I need you to close your eyes, and this is only going to be quick, so please close. And I want you to relax the muscles around your eyes so that they're so relaxed that you can't relax them anymore. While holding on to the relaxation, test them and just make sure that you cannot open them. So your eyes are relaxed. They're so relaxed that you can't relax them anymore. And you're holding on to that relaxation and you cannot open your eyes. Okay, so I want you to open your eyes and come back into the room. And I'm sure you felt a great sense of relaxation just in those few seconds. And the point of that quick test was just to show you that that's exactly what hypnosis feels like. It just feels like deep relaxation. Now, you're going to ask, what do I do now? Well, that is a great question. I am introducing you to my Kickstart for Weight Loss Bootcamp. This is an online 6-month program and it is for women only. In the program, there are step-by-step personalized plans, and the beauty of this is that there's no guessing involved and you are actually part of the process. You actually get to help make your own plan. You will also learn how to read nutrition labels, how hormones affect weight loss. You will learn about fiber, carbs, and supplements in detail. You will learn how to grocery shop and set appropriate goals. You will also learn how to eat on the go, how stress and sleep affect weight loss. There is a private Facebook group, so only members of the bootcamp will be able to join this group. And you will also be given downloadable worksheets. There are 6 modules, so it's 1 module every single month. And you get to work at your own pace, which is also the beauty of this. You know, we're all busy, we all have things that happen and life gets in the way, but you can come back at any time, or if there's a module that you didn't quite get it at first and you want to go back to, you can always do that. It is made to be used however you choose to use it. So module 1 is actually called Manifesting Your Vision. And in manifesting your vision, you will learn how to actually create a 30-day action plan. You're going to declare and clarify exactly what you want. You have to know what you want in order for it to manifest. You will also learn how sleep and stress affect your ability to lose weight, and you're also going to learn what you can do about it and how to keep the weight off. In module number 2, called The New You, you're going to begin the process of change here. So you're going to develop the tools necessary to help you reach your goal. You'll learn about fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, and the appropriate way to eat them to maximize your success. You will also learn the best way to prepare your meals to save you time and energy. Module number 3 is weight loss secrets. So this is where you're going to start to feel empowered, especially when making food choices. You're going to learn how to properly read food labels so that you understand exactly the macronutrients, that's the proteins, carbs, and fats, and how much food you're actually putting in your body. You're also going to learn the importance of fiber in the journey for you to reach your ideal body. Module number 4 is self-transformation. And in this module, you'll learn about exercise, and it's also going to include a lesson about body composition, cardiovascular training, resistance training, and exercise nutrition. You'll also learn about carbohydrates and the glycemic index and how they affect your blood sugar levels, causing you to store fat. You'll also learn about the benefits of supplements and how proper digestion can aid in reaching your ideal weight. In module number 5, it is called Optimize Your Food Choices. And this is where you're going to form good habits when you go grocery shopping so that you can stay on track. You will also learn how to eat on the go so that you can consume less calories and learn which are the best foods while you're dining out. And module number 6 is hypnosis. In this module, you will learn the basics of hypnosis. And you're going to discover how hypnosis allows you to communicate with your unconscious mind so that you can focus on what you want so that you can get what you want. And you will also learn 9 tips on how to maintain your new lifestyle for ongoing success. Now, who is this program for? This program is professional women who are serious about taking control back of their life and their weight. So I encourage you to book a free Kickstart strategy session with me. And by booking this session, you confirm that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the results that you desire. You're telling me that you have high integrity and always follow through until the end, and that you also have the courage to admit that it's time for you to reach out to gain the help that you need to get you back on track. I am also providing a fast action bonus for you on this webinar. The first 4 people who register for your Kickstart session and decide to enroll in the bootcamp will get an amazing offer from me. And I should also let you know that I am currently offering participants of this webinar a scholarship program as well. So I encourage you to go to www.kickstartforweightloss.com/book-me-in to set up a time for your free Kickstart strategy session to see if we would be a fit to work together. Now, I have to stress that spaces are limited, so sign up for your strategy session now. Well, maybe not right now because I still want to get to the end of the presentation, but we're almost there. But you definitely need to sign up for your strategy session today because, as I said, spaces are limited. So why am I doing this? I provide value and I strive to be the best at what I do so that I can give back to you. I have been on this journey. I know what it's like to be overweight. I know what it's like to be exhausted. I know what it's like to not like what you see when you look at yourself in the mirror. I've been there. I've done that. And I get pleasure out of helping women like you like what they see in the mirror and just get their health back. So I've set aside some time during this next week to speak to you personally about how you can start to get results as soon as the end of our strategy session, even if you decide that the Kickstart for Weight Loss Bootcamp is not for you. And if by the end of our session we both decide that we're a good fit, then I may invite you to become one of my new clients this month. So again, go to www.kickstartforweightloss.com/book-me-in order to register for your free Kickstart strategy session. Now, I also did promise a free gift for you attending this webinar. And so the free gift is my 60 quick and easy, healthy, family-friendly recipes. For this, you can go to kickstartforweightloss.com/60, which is 60 recipes. So again, that's http://kickstartforweightloss.com/60, which is 60 recipes. I also want to provide you with my contact information. I can be reached at 1-866-680-1266. I can also be reached locally in the Greater Toronto Area at 647-955-5646. You can check out my website at www.moniquebartlett.com. You can also send me an email at monique@moniquebartlett.com. And please go over and like my Facebook fan page, Monique Bartlett Author. So again, I just want to let you know that there is a fast action bonus. So the first 4 people who register for this program, again, getting an amazing offer. I'm offering the scholarship program for the remainder of the participants for this webinar. Go to www.kickstartforweightloss.com/book-me-in order to set up a time for your free Kickstart strategy session to see if we would be a fit to work together. And I am looking forward to speaking with you. So I just want to say I thank you once again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend these few minutes with me this evening. It's a joy for me to be able to share my message, and I appreciate the fact that you wanted to hear it. So again, register for your free session. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. And again, you can connect with me any other way that you would love to. So thank you very much for taking the time to stay with me for this 45 minutes, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of your day and evening.